Hello, hello. Welcome back to the podcast. I am so glad that you are here, and I am very, very fired up about this 7-part series that we're going to get into starting this episode. It is going to be the perfect series leading into the summer. I'm not sure where you live. Maybe it's still a little bit cold, but here in Phoenix, Arizona, it is definitely feeling like summer. We've got some triple digit heat that's already been happening. So perfect series leading us up to the summer. With that being said, if you want to lose weight this summer and you also want to heal while doing it. So yes, you want to lose weight, but you also want to heal while doing it. Heal your relationship with your body, heal your relationship with food. This is a series that you do not want to miss. Now, on the last 10 podcasts, we have over 400 episodes. I've been doing this podcast for years now. In fact, some of you that have been listening since before I even became a mom, literally on the day that this episode airs, my daughter is turning 6 years old. It will be on her 6th birthday. So can you believe it? My baby girl, she is now going to be 6 years old. So we've been together. There's been over 400 episodes. We've been together for a while. You've been learning from me for a while. And so many of the episodes dive into high-level strategy, emotional processing, addressing emotional eating, powerful mindset shifts, nervous system regulation. We have talked on this podcast about a lot of high-level strategies and techniques. In this series, I am taking us back to the foundations. Okay, we are going to be going step by step through these 7 essentials for losing the last 10, which, as you know, the last 10 is defined as losing the weight that you want to lose and doing it in a way that creates freedom from struggling with weight and food, and doing it in a way that actually not only feels sustainable, but you're doing it in a way that feels good for you, for your life. And so here's my recommendation for listening to this series. Have a notebook or a journal, piece of paper, each episode ready so that in each of these 7 episodes, you are taking notes and you are writing down your decisions, because I am going to be walking you through actionable things that you'll need to do, take action, integrate. This is your map. These are your steps for, like I said, losing weight and also heal your relationship with your body, heal your relationship with food as you are losing your weight. That's what the last 10 is about. So make sure to grab your paper, grab your journal, grab your notebook. And in last week's episode, I shared that I have declared this summer as the summer of freedom, freedom from constantly struggling with your weight, freedom from constantly struggling with food, freedom from losing physical weight that you want to lose, freedom from habits that no longer serve you, freedom from limiting beliefs and insecurities. And so this is how we do it. There are 7 steps. I'm going to walk you through them. We are going back to basics. You can think of this as the last 10 101. This is how we do it. It's the 7 steps. Are you ready? Today, we're going to start with step 1. This is essential. It is step 1 for a reason. And I think I could even say that this is the most important step because it's the first step to take. Don't skip it. Do not skip step number 1. And I also want to mention, though, that most women do. This step, although it's step number 1 and one of the most important, I have this as step number 1 for a reason. This step often gets skipped. Okay. Step number 1, decide your goal. Step number 1, this is how we're getting started and kicking off the 7-part series. Step number 1, decide your goal. And you're going to decide your goal on purpose. Now, if you just heard me say that and your brain went to like, yeah, I already know, I already have my goal. Pause, stay with me. Let's slow this down a bit. Okay, most women skip by this, kind of whiz past it. And I'm going to unpack today how actually when you don't slow down on this part and make sure that you have decided your goal very much on purpose, it's kind of like building a house without first setting the foundation. Boom, that's exactly what this is. Step number one, we're setting the foundation. So if you've ever seen a house been built from scratch, you know that the most important thing is that concrete foundation. They first lay down the foundation, and that matters. It matters a lot. They look at all these little details like the grading, and, they are very detailed because it really matters. The foundation really, really matters. That is exactly what step one is. So stay with me, because I'm going to walk you through. I'm really going to take you step by step, deciding your goal on purpose. Even if you feel you already have your goal and it's clear, stay through the end of this episode, because you want to make sure, almost like you're checking off the boxes. Okay, yes, I have decided and chosen and defined my goal very much on purpose. Because how you choose your goal determines everything that follows. Again, it's the foundation. It's the foundation of everything that you are building and that you are wanting to build and create and transform for yourself. And this isn't just about picking a number on the scale, although, yes, your goal can include specific numbers and data points if you want it to, 100%. We do not goal shame around here. Okay, we do not goal shame around here. Your goal can include specific numbers and data points. It might be weight. It might be certain, body percentages, fat percentages, bone density, whatever specific numbers and data points, circumference measurements that you want your goal to include. 100%, this can be part of it. But I do think this is essential to highlight. This isn't just about picking a number. Numbers can be included. The most important thing is this: choosing a goal that actually means something to you. And like I said, actually choosing your goal in the first place. Choosing something that really is chosen by you versus feels like someone else's hand-me-down. That is a mic drop moment right there. Your goal, your weight loss goal, it is essential that it is chosen by you versus feels like someone else's hand-me-down. We're going to talk a little bit more about that. Okay, so let's walk you through clearly defining a goal that is specific to you, super important, and is what you want. What you want, not what someone else wants for you. It's what you want for yourself. And like I said, as you see, I'm really driving this point home for a reason. Step number one is choosing your goal on purpose is foundational, because how you choose your weight loss goal determines everything that follows. So the first thing I want to do here is talk about how most of us as women have set goals for ourselves, especially as it relates to weight loss in the past. And this was me as well. And it was a huge part of the problem. It's part of why I was stuck and struggling and battling with my weight. And weight felt like such a huge struggle because I used to set goals in this way, which I'm going to break down here in a minute. And I want to make sure that you don't get stuck and feel frustrated and are stuck in sabotaging cycles because your goal is set in a way that creates problems for you. So here's the problem with how goals are usually set. It's what we've learned from diet culture. Most goals are rooted in urgency. So in a hurry, being in a hurry, like, oh my gosh, I need to lose this weight ASAP. That's urgency. Most goals, especially as it relates to weight loss, are rooted in shame. Most specifically, body shame, like my body is not good enough, and so I have to fix it. Most goals are rooted in external validation or seeking external validation. And this can sound like, okay, if I lose 12 pounds, then I'll feel confident. If I lose 22 pounds, then I'll feel confident. If I lose 5 pounds, then I'll feel confident. That's that external validation. This is often entangled with white knuckling, all or nothing cycles, on track, off track, and not to mention constant self-judgment and sabotage. What I've just described is how most of us as women have set weight loss goals for ourselves because it's what we've learned. It's how we've learned. It's what has been handed down from diet culture, and it's created tons of problems and so much suffering for generations of women. And now we get to be the ones to change that. And so that's what it used to look like. That's what has created so many problems, so much stuckness, so much frustration, where you are in a hurry, in a rush. You get frustrated, you get impatient. There's white knuckling, there's all or nothing sabotage cycles, constant self-judgment. It is not a productive way to set goals. It has not been productive. And of course, it is not loving. And so here's what it's going to look like now instead: to choose your goal on purpose. You are going to choose a goal from love, from tons of self-love, having love for yourself, and tons of self-respect. And that changes everything. So here's what the shift can sound like, because we are shifting into what does it look like to set your goal differently, to set your goal on purpose, and to actually decide your goal instead of diet culture's hand-me-downs, right? So here's what it can sound like. I have to lose this weight because I hate my body, or my body isn't good enough. That's the old way. Here's an updated version where you're choosing a goal on purpose from love and self-respect. Can sound like something like this. I'm choosing to take care of myself in this way, which will create a weight loss of, let's say 10 pounds or 8 pounds. Here's another example. Instead of I have to lose this weight because I hate my body, or I need to quote unquote look better, it can sound like I'm changing the way that I feed myself and take care of myself because I want to feel at home in my body. I want to feel good in my body. Now, remember, we are not judging goals. We are not goal shaming here. This is what the main difference that I'm describing is, that diet culture has told us to set a goal of losing weight to fix ourselves. I'm going to say that again. Diet culture has told us to set a goal of losing weight to fix ourselves, to fix our bodies. The last 10, which is what I'm breaking down today, and this is part 1. We're doing a 7-part series where I'm going to break it down, the last 10, 101. We're going through the 7 steps, the foundations. The last 10 teaches you to set a goal to free yourself. Free yourself. To create the changes you desire. To create what you want for yourself. To change the habits that you want to change. And so again, what most women typically do without even realizing it, they see a magazine cover or an ad on their feed, and without consciously deciding their goal, they unconsciously make that woman, that body, their goal. Notice, by the way, how non-specific this is. It's very non-specific. Like, oh, she looks great. Let me have this unconscious kind of vague goal of losing weight to look like her. And even the way I'm describing it right now, it's not even that conscious. For most women, it's actually happening unconscious or at a somewhat unconscious level. Absorb that as the goal. Notice that it's non-specific. And so then it's subconsciously chosen, not intentionally chosen, and not specific. And it's subconsciously chosen because it's being sold to us, me included, because I am a woman in this society as well. Sometimes explicitly, sometimes implicitly. And so begins the seemingly endless weight loss attempts to achieve a vague goal that was not even chosen intentionally, but unconsciously. And as I unpack that, just notice, what's the foundation there? It's a goal that you didn't actually choose, not on purpose, and it's not very specific. It's vague. And it's a version of quote unquote success that you didn't define, that is often rooted in shame and comparison. And so no wonder it feels like shit. And so this is where we get to be trailblazers. This is where you get to be a trailblazer, because this time you get to do it different. And it starts with setting the goal. You decide your goal, and you decide your goal on purpose, from love, from power, for you. And remember, we are not goal shaming. You can decide to lose 10 pounds, 4 pounds, 100 pounds. So let's do that next. Let's walk you through very clearly defining a goal that is specific to you, and it is what you want. And so I'm talking about giving permission for your specific goal. And so now we've unpacked, how do goals normally happen for women? And normally it's not intentional, and it's not specific, and it's rooted in things like shame and comparison. And so no wonder it feels like shit. And we've talked about the importance of, why is this even step number one? To set your goal on purpose. And so now I'm going to talk about this very, very important piece, which is to give yourself permission for your specific goal. Oh man, I cannot tell you how important this is. This is so, so important. So listen up, because I know my people. I know my people. And really hear me on this right now. It is okay to want to lose weight. It is okay to have a specific number in mind. It is okay if your goal is, I want to lose 11 pounds. Very specific. I want to lose 33 pounds. That does not make you shallow. It does not make you brainwashed. And it definitely doesn't make you less evolved or less intelligent or less strong or less feminine or less empowered. In this space, in my world, we separate weight loss from diet culture. We separate personal agency from oppressive programming. Very important. We stop pretending that it's either or. You don't have to choose. You don't have to choose between being a woman that's empowered and intelligent or losing weight. It can be both. It doesn't have to be either or, because it's not. But there is a difference. And so that's super important to highlight and to make that distinction. And so what makes the difference isn't what you want, it's why. And also that it's been intentionally chosen and that it is what you want. It's what you have decided that you desire. For example, are you chasing a goal because you think you need to earn your worth? Are you chasing losing 10 pounds because you think once you lose those 10 pounds, now you are worthy? Now you've earned your worth. Or are you choosing to have a goal to lose 10 pounds, just as an example, from a place of power, of love, of alignment? That's the real work here. So it's really important to stop judging yourself for what you want. It is really important for us as women to stop judging ourselves for what we want and to start being honest and intentional about what we are creating and why. So that is what we're doing here. When you are choosing your goal, you are deciding your goal. Don't judge yourself for what you want, but do be intentional. Do be radically honest with yourself about what you're creating and why, and to give yourself full permission to want what you want and to choose what you want. So now that we have really, really emphasized the giving yourself permission for your specific goal, now that we've made space for that, for your desires to exist without shame, let's talk about, what does it look like to decide your goal and to decide your goal on purpose? Because if you want to create something specific, you can't stay vague about it. It's incredibly challenging to create specific change when you're tiptoeing around something, when we're staying vague about it. And of course, you're not going to feel very empowered about your goal and empowered and able to go after it and to achieve it and then to allow yourself to have it if you can't even admit it to yourself that it's something that you want, much less say it out loud? So the permission part is very, very important. And so here's what I want you to do right now. On your paper, your piece of paper, your notebook, your journal, you are going to write this down. You are going to claim it. You're going to write down what your goal is. Write down what your goal is. Claim it, write it down. And then once you've written it down, say it out loud. You can even pause the podcast episode here to say it. Say it out loud. You don't have to say it to someone else unless you want to, but say it out loud, even to yourself. Claim it, write it down, say it out loud. And so take this moment here. Go ahead and do that now. Okay, so now I'm going to assume that you have written it down, you've claimed it, you've said it out loud. And so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to share a list of examples of personalized, detailed, specific goals. And to be very clear, these are examples. I mean, if I'm going through them and you love one of these examples, you're like, oh my gosh, that sounds like exactly what I want. I mean, that's completely fine. But I do want to make it clear that these are examples to really help get your brain juices flowing. So that also, as I'm going through these examples, to really show like, hey, oh, not everyone's goal has to be exactly the same. Like there's all these little juicy personalized details because as women, we are all different. You are 1 in 8 billion. And so of course our goals are not going to be exactly the same. But if you were to look out in the world and look at a bunch of magazine covers, for example, you would think that all women are all the same, cut out from the same cookie cutter, versus what's actually true, that we are all so different and we don't all want the same thing. And that is a beautiful thing. And so I'm going to be just going through a list here, just sharing examples of personalized, detailed, specific goals to help get those brain juices flowing. Also, there might be some of you listening that you know exactly what you want and it took like a millisecond to write it down. That's definitely going to be some of you listening as well. And if that's the case, then, we don't even need to get your brain juices flowing anymore because you know exactly, so specific, so detailed what you want for you. Maybe for you, it's more about just like giving yourself full permission to own that and to want that and to give yourself permission for that. But there may be some of you that you have never done this process of like, okay, let me define, what do I actually want? What is actually my goal? What do I desire? If I'm not just, receiving some hand-me-down given to me by society, what is my goal? What's important to me? What do I want? What feels good for my body? What do I want in my life? So without further ado, here are some examples of personalized, detailed, specific goals. I'm just going to go through them. I want to lose 13 pounds and feel sexy in my clothes again. For me, I want to stop emotionally eating after work and take care of myself without food being my go-to way of coping life's problems. I want to lose 25 pounds and finally stop the on again, off again cycle that has ruled my life for decades. I want to lose 5 pounds and put on any outfit in my closet without spiraling into body shame. I want to work out in sports bras this summer, tummy out, feeling the warmth of the sun on my skin and feeling strong, nourished, and energized all summer long for the rest of the year. I want to be done with food guilt, plus also lose 37 pounds. I want to lose the last 10 pounds, not because I have to, but because it feels good and I'm ready. I want to live my life without my weight being a constant mental loop in the background. I want to stop starting over every Monday. I want to be at peace with food and myself. And I know that when I stop overeating on the weekends, I'll definitely lose some weight. And whatever weight that I lose, that'll be perfect. Notice that these goals are personal. They're unique, they're different, they're powerful. And whatever that you name and claim and decide and define for yourself, that is your goal to name and to claim and to allow yourself to then let that become and be your reality. And so this next thing that I'm going to say is super important because yes, you are deciding and defining your goal and letting it be personal and unique and specific and detailed based on you, your body, your life, your desires, your priorities, your values, your vision. That's super important. And it's really essential as well to see that this is an action that you're going to take. You're going to write your goal down in your journal. This is an action that you're going to take. Very real. It's a practical step you're going to take. But also, I want to highlight and I really want to name for you that there's an identity shift that happens here. When you, on your paper, write out exactly what you want, what your vision is, what you desire, and let it be personal and specific to you, there's an identity shift that happens here, which, by the way, is necessary for lasting change. If we want to change the way we do things, there is a shift that has to happen in the way that we see ourselves and the way that we think about ourselves. And so you are going to be writing down your goal literally, right? It's really a thing you're going to do. And I highly recommend it. And as you are doing the physical act of writing down your personalized, detailed, specific goal, you're not just choosing a weight loss goal. You're not just choosing a goal and writing it down. That's part of what's happening when you do this. But also, you are choosing the identity of a woman who knows what she wants and doesn't apologize for going after it. By taking the time to personalize this, to own it, to claim it, and to then receive it, and being bold enough to name it clearly without apology, and to choose from a place of self-love and power, you'll then experience weight loss in such a different way. You will have set the foundation for your weight loss to be loving, empowered, and lasting. Most certainly sustainable, because it'll be how you want to do things. And as I said in the beginning, if you want to lose weight this summer, if you have a goal to lose weight and heal your relationship with food, if you want to lose weight and heal your relationship with your body, you cannot set your goal the way that diet culture has taught us, which is to chase a number from shame, urgency, inadequacy, and chasing self-worth. Can't set your goal that old way. It's not effective. It feels like shit. It keeps you spinning and looping. What I just walked you through isn't surface level goal setting. What I just walked you through is you claiming what you want from the deepest kind of self-love. This is step 1 of the Last 10 101. Okay, so now I have a mini challenge for you. Okay. This is also going to happen in your notebook. A reflection. There's a series of questions that I'm going to offer you here. And I highly recommend, again, pause the episode and actually answer these. What do I want my goal to be about? Remember, you've already chosen your specific goal. You've written it down. You've claimed it. You've said it out loud. Now you're doing some journaling. You're doing some reflection. What do I want my goal to be about? That's the first question. Second reflection question for you to journal. Am I choosing this from love or from fear, shame, or urgency? Next question. What would it look like to pursue this goal like a woman who loves herself deeply? And then as a bonus prompt, you've identified already your goal. You're setting a goal for something, but you're also freeing yourself from something. So this is your bonus prompt. You're setting a goal for something. You're setting a goal, your specific goal, but you're also freeing yourself from something. In your journal, on your paper, list 3 things that you are letting go of this summer. For example, this summer, you might be letting go of late night snacking, or maybe you're letting go of stress eating at work, or maybe you're letting go of overeating at meals, or maybe you're letting go of body shame, or maybe you're letting go of wearing clothes that hides your body, or maybe you're letting go of eating out of obligation or people pleasing. So ask yourself, what 3 things am I leaving behind this summer of freedom? And I am so excited to see what comes up and what you write down. I highly, highly recommend that you actually get out your pen, answer these questions, journal on this, and see what comes up. Even one honest paragraph of you answering these prompts will create a shift. This is exactly the kind of deep coaching and support that you receive and that happens inside of the Last 10, which is my signature coaching program where you get to work with me directly. We address the mindset and we look at things and address them. And I support you with coaching, with holistic, feminist coaching tools. We do the emotional rewiring. We address your needs as a whole human. And we do this in a way where you're not just losing weight, you are healing your relationship with your body, healing your relationship with food. I know that so many of you, probably every single one of you listening, you've tried shrinking your body and losing weight in a way that it feels you're literally trying to shrink your body in order to feel more confident. And it feels like chasing, and you feel that inadequacy, that urgency, that shame. And I get it. I get it because I've been there and I was stuck in that painful place for a couple of decades. I was stuck in that cycle, that exhausting cycle for a couple of decades. So I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. And I want you to know that I see you. That's not what we're doing here. That is not what we're doing here. Instead, really, 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 what's happening is let's expand your power. That's exactly what I've walked you through here today, because it starts with defining your goal. It starts with deciding your goal. Only you can do that for yourself. No one else can decide for you what is best for you or what you should want for you. You are expanding your power, and then your weight loss gets to be the side effect of that. And so come and join me and the Last 10 community this summer for a summer of freedom. The Last 10 is open now. You can get enrolled today and start coaching with me tomorrow. I'll make sure that we include the link to join inside of the show notes. And I want to remind you that we have our most inclusive pricing ever, because I believe that this work, this liberation from the weight struggle should be for everyone. And so let this be the summer. Decide for this to be the summer that you stop struggling with weight and food, and this area of your life stops feeling exhausting and miserable and filled with shame and urgency and inadequacy, and instead to create and enjoy this area of your life on purpose. And I would be honored to support you. All right, my sister. So that has been step 1, part 1 of this 7-part series, where I'm walking you through the Last 10 foundations. It's the Last 10 101, walking you through the basics from start to finish. And today we did exactly that. And I walked you through the very, very important piece, the very, very important part of setting and defining and deciding your goal, because this is the foundation that you then build on. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you here next time for part 2. Talk to you soon.